So Windley Key Fossil Reef Geological State Park is our stop today. Be aware that this park is open Thursday through Monday, and it's closed Tuesday and Wednesday. So this is today's adventure with Danny and I. You excited to see some cool stuff, Danny?
Yep.
All right. We're gonna look at some of the old quarries and fossils, and also some of the trees and stuff in this area. So, looks like a ton of people here. It's one of these unknown parks that a lot of people just probably pass by and don't even give it a second thought. So hopefully we can give you some tips and see what you think. Oh, I don't know, $2.50 per person. I don't know if we can handle that. All right, let's go. One thing to remember is always stay
hydrated.
Yeah, gotta have lots of water, take it with you, take some snacks with you, and things like that.
Sunscreen.
And sunscreen, or really goofy hats like ours. Well, mine. All right, let's go check in. All right, so when you get here, you can come right up to this front area and they can go inside. There's some great stuff. You saw a couple videos a second ago. One thing you can get is this trail guide. Okay, hold this up here. So they'll let you borrow this really extensive trail guide, and it's for free. You can just use it, and it's going to take you through all the different trails and everything you're going to see. Today, what we're going to start out with is this is the state park, and we are right here. And we are going to start on this green hammock trail since it's the middle of the day and it's so hot. This is the area that's in the shade. We're going to come through Russell Quarry, and we'll come back around here and we'll check out the main quarries after. So let's get hiking. Danny, what do you say? Let's go. Just a heads up before we start our hike, they do have an awesome bottle filler here, so you can refill your bottles as you go. And always, my daughter will tell you, keep an eye out for these little guys. Tussock moth caterpillar. You have the dragon wasp. These guys, my daughter got stung by one of these. They are horrible. They look soft and fuzzy. They have a painful sting. They have barbs all on their back here.
If you want, you can bring your pets. This place is animal friendly. So let's start our trail.
Okay, before walking along any Keys trail, everyone should learn to recognize this relative of poison ivy. 20-foot tall poisonwood tree right here. Its leaves are compound, meaning each is composed of several leaflets. Poison ivy has 3 leaflets. Poisonwood may have 5 or 7. Poisonwood lives in this area. It's very common. Okay, they have dark green upper surfaces but are lighter below. The sap of this poisonwood turns black after being exposed to air. Small sap stains on the leaves and larger branches and blotches on the bark help make this tree easier to identify. This is one you do not want to play with or touch. So, anytime you're hiking down here in the Keys, keep your eyes out for poisonwood and give it a little bit of space. It won't jump out and bite you, but it's not one you want to climb. And as soon as you started the trail, we're taking the blue and yellow trail to meet up with the green trail, but you can see the quarry wall where they used to quarry the rock from here as soon as we get in here. So you can look really close and see all the cool fossils from the oldest all the way up to the surface. Notice the dirt at the top. Very little time to have a dirt layer grow since these Keys have become above water since the sea levels dropped. They were always much higher. This area used to be underwater. So the roots have to find little places and ways to hold on. So they'll find little gaps, edges, and find really unique ways to hold into the surface. Okay, so just to show you how this guide they give you works well, these little trail markers, for example, yellow 17, and if you go to your book, yellow 17, it's going to tell you, notice the drill holes and rippled surface of the wall. Changes in quarrying methods explain the different appearance of the walls in Windley Key's 3 quarry pits. If you examine the fossil wall with a magnifying lens, you can see skeletal remains of tiny animal polyps, which formed the coral heads. Look closely for small holes where the worms, clams, and crabs burrowed through the coral. See anything there, Danny?
There's some remains in these holes. And here are some of the holes that they lived in. And also, if you look here, something that was in, not just that spider.
Alright, again, beautiful, beautiful park. Alright, let's do some hiking. And again, get here, you can go through all these different signs. Just to let you know, it's a great self-guided tour. So as we're running through the forest, there's a lot of different things. And just to note, we are doing this trail backwards, so you can see it differently when you come the right way. But when you get to a sign like this, number 47, Daniel, go ahead out of our awesome book they gave us. What's it say?
On the right side of this trail, 2 pieces of railroad rail have been driven into the ground like spikes. These were used as anchors for the winches needed to move equipment into large blocks of stone. These spikes are the remains of Flagler's railroad and samples of 2 different gauges of rail.
And then the other one's over here. So yeah, the book will help you along the way. Every time you see a number, you just read in the book and it goes in sequential order. Again, we're doing it backwards, but let's continue our hike.
So you see here there is this moss. Do not touch it. It is Spanish moss. If you're not used to this and you don't live here, if you touch it, there is these little bugs inside called chiggers. They will burrow into your skin and they really itch and they're little dots. And while we're here, let's look at these 2 ginormous orb spiders. They will only attack if they do attack. If you like mess with their web. Otherwise, they're pretty peaceful. And you can see there's a little bit of baby ones. So this is all mangroves, and there's 2 types of them. There's the first type, which is black mangrove, and then the second type, which is red mangrove. So what is the difference between a black mangrove and a red mangrove? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you guessed that they have prop roots for a red mangrove and for a black mangrove snorkel roots, you were correct.
These are snorkel roots. So we have black mangrove. And what about these leaves, Danny?
See, instead of a mangrove having sacrificial leaves, they will have all of them secrete salt. And if you pluck it and lick it, they taste salt.
Okay, so that was the green trail. We did it backwards, but if you come around right way, where we started earlier, come right to here, here's the quarry cutter, and then this is the beginning of the trail that we just came back on. So that would be the start of the green trail that we just finished, and there's also the yellow and orange that go off of that. So we're gonna go take a look at the quarries now and refill our waters. Let's say, so we're back out to the parking lot, and then if you didn't take the green trail first, which I'd highly recommend during the day, if you get here in the heat, take that nice green trail. It's like 15 degrees cooler there than it is down here in the quarries. So right behind the Welcome Center is one of the main quarries. We're going to take a walk down there and check some stuff out.
So we already saw some mangroves, but these roots are different. So which type of mangrove are these? If you guessed red, you're correct. Also, right up here,
Old machinery, huh?
yeah. You can see all the pond.
All right, let's continue down the red trail. All right, so if you notice that last part of the video just looked the same, well, that's because all these trails circle back into each other. So it's really nice because you aren't going to get lost out here, going forwards or backwards like we just did. You really can just take your time and wander around. If you look at all the numbers, you're going to take several hours in here and just take your time and read all about the stuff. Or you can do a few things that look interesting and come back and read more later. Beauty is there's definitely some cooler areas in the hammock for when it's really hot, and then some really nice stuff in the quarries. And when you're walking down in that quarry, remember you're walking on fossils 120,000 years old. And as that sea level has gone down over that time, it allowed all this to be exposed. And again, sea level will rise again, cover this, more corals will grow, and that whole succession takes place as the natural sea levels rise and fall. Not too long ago in history, this entire area, including all the Keys and a lot of Florida, was underwater. So as the earth goes through its cycles, we will see that happen again. And as humans that like to build cities right at water level, not realizing that this happens, we have some thinking to do. And you know, being good stewards of our environment is always important, but also finding ways to adapt to the changing earth. It's going to change regardless. So we got to make sure we're always keeping ahead of that and what to do as a civilization. So with that, enjoy. Hope you enjoyed our little tour of the awesome state park here at Florida and Windley Key Quarry. Daniel, thank you.
Bye.
Stay cool and have a great day. One thing you'll do, if you do have ADA needs, they do have an off-road track chair that can be signed out and used. Just sign a waiver.